guys, Sergio here, welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm trying filming in a new area. Let me know what you think. I'm a bit worried that I might look a little yellow. I've adapted one of the light bulbs so it's not a yellow bulb anymore, so we'll have to see. If I'm very yellow, please let me know. If it's too yellow, then I'll have to refilm this in another location. If not, we'll try and run with it just for this week. So today what I really wanted to focus on is my weight loss journey that's going to be part of my videos here on YouTube. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've been, stick thin, size 8, size 6, what have you, no. But pre getting ill, I was very comfortable with my weight. I felt very happy in clothes, I felt quite confident, and so I would like to get back to, hello Squeaky. Oh, we've got both cats in here, there may be some hissing. I would like to get back to where I was pre-illness. And that is losing about 60 to 80 pounds. I don't have an exact figure because I don't know what I weighed at that point. I just know which clothes fit me and how they felt, and that's where I'm aiming to get to. So I am going to be tracking my weight. I'm also going to be tracking various measurements on the body. Seeing if they're going to have a little bit of a hissing match. No? Okay. Yes, so I did do my highest weight when I weighed in. I apologise. So if we go from my highest weight was 17 stone 10, which is this in kilos and pounds. That was in the start of October. I'm now down to 16, well, when I weighed in on Sunday, I was 16 stone 4. So that's sort of a stone and 5 pounds that I've lost. I did lose some of that during my sort of month-long COVID isolation period where I spent some time in hospital and was basically just on a drip. I wasn't eating anything, so I lost a fair bit there. As I've touched on in a couple of my videos, and I'll put a link wherever it is. That side? I can't remember. I will get this down at some point, I promise. I was put on steroids a while ago, middle of 2019. So I've been on them for a while, and I was on quite high dose for a while. And yes, I'm still completely responsible for all the food that I put in my mouth. I'm not going to sit here and say it's all the steroids' fault. But it did increase my appetite. It did feel like I was craving specific foods over certain other foods. So, I do think that it had a part to play, but it is obviously, in the end, my responsibility of what I put in my mouth, right? So for the first sort of year and a bit, I'd gained some weight, but it wasn't a huge concern, if that makes sense. It was a case of, okay, I've gained weight, my doctor said it's because I'm on steroids. Once I come off them, it should drop off, everything will be fine. Then, in the summer of 2020, I developed Cushing's, which is basically just my body reacting to the amount of cortisol that was in my blood because of all of these steroids. And in a very short space of time, I put on a lot of weight, and nothing had changed. I was already sort of trying to watch what I was eating. I was tracking my foods. I didn't change anything in that time period. If anything, I should have lost weight because it was just after Easter and I'd had Easter eggs, because I do love thin Easter egg chocolate. There's just something about the thin chocolate, and I don't know what it is, because we got some when we melted it on a baking tray so it was nice and thin, but it wasn't the same. And totally psychological thing, I don't know. So after Easter I would have thought I would have lost some weight because I wasn't eating any Easter eggs that I'd been, having for a little while. But no, I put on the weight, and it was very odd. Then they diagnosed Cushing's, and it all sort of made sense. So from that point, we've been trying to reduce my steroids, which again you'll find in the other story. I'm not going to talk about that here. So yes, my plan is to lose between 60 to 80 pounds. I don't have a goal weight, I just have a goal body comfort. So I've got certain clothes that I want to be able to feel comfortable wearing, and then I'll be at where I want to be. I'm not saying that is going to be my ultimate weight, because if I can get a program working that I'm sticking to, then hopefully I can lose a little bit more and be even more comfortable with myself. But my goal here is to get back to my pre-illness weight, basically. So I'm going to put up on screen an image that was taken. What date was that taken? Let me check, because I've got it all tracked. So this photo was taken on the 6th of December. So just over about 5 weeks ago. And then obviously we had Christmas and New Year, and since then I have lost 3 pounds. So I lost a pound first week. So on the 20th I was at 16.6. Hello kitten. Then on the 27th I went up to 16.7. That was in the week of my menstrual cycle. I always track my weight during that time, but I don't necessarily get hard on myself if I've put on weight that week, because usually it's just water weight or something else, and it will disappear the following week. Hello kitten. Then on the 3rd of January, back to 16.6, the pound went. Then on the 10th of January I was 16.4, so that's the week just gone. So I do have some measurements as well. I am very nervous about sharing these measurements, but I'm going to pop them up on the screen with the picture so you can see them. So these are my starting measurements from the 6th of December. So I'm not going to give you all my measurements. I'm going to do that every couple of months, but I will keep you updated with my weight loss in of itself. So as I said, the main reason that I am doing this is to get back to my pre-illness weight for a couple of reasons. Firstly, hopefully, dependent on how things go with the vaccine and everything else, hopefully I am getting married in October, so I would like to be back down to a weight I'm more comfortable with for the wedding. Additionally, once we are married and things have settled down with my health in terms of my medications, then we are looking to start thinking about having kids. The having kids is complicated with the medication that I'm on. Basically, the medication that I'm on is toxic, which is why I have to have so many blood tests and things, and so that's not really viable with pregnancy. So I'm strictly not allowed to get pregnant on this medication. So what happens once we're in a position when we're ready to do that, then I have to switch from the medication that I'm on to a less toxic version. And once we've got the dosage right, they'll be able to transfer me to the other medication on a higher dose, but one that is on equal footings, if that makes sense. So it's less toxic, but they have to give me a higher dose because it isn't as strong. And then we can start thinking about getting ready for that. So yeah, two-time reason: the being comfortable for my wedding, and the process of being ready to have children at some point. So those are the main reasons that I am pushing it now. I do struggle with totally different position now. Come on, just stay for a little bit longer. Okay, so I do struggle with exercise at the moment. The fatigue and things that I get from the lupus and from other things and from the medication, the sort of hangover days that I get afterwards, does make exercising more difficult. I used to previously enjoy exercising sort of earlier in the day, so when I get up or at lunchtime, which isn't really viable now, because when I first get up my body is stiff and sore. So I've been exercising much later in the day, in the evening, and that's been working well for me. I love dancing. I used to dance competitively, I think Strictly, that's what I used to do. I did in fact compete against Kevin when I was younger, because we were of a similar age. I did compete against him. I've met Anton and a few of the others, and then did a couple of my medal tests. So yeah, think that well. That's what I used to do when I was younger. And then I damaged my knee and I couldn't dance, and then my dad passed away, and I kept eating the diet that I was eating when I was dancing competitively despite not dancing. So I put on quite a lot of weight, partly through that, partly through comfort eating, because my dad had passed. So when I was in my late teens, I was very, very big. Bigger than I am now. I was very, very big. I got up to a size 28. And then I lost it all, was down to a 12 to 14 and was very comfortable. It took a lot of time, and it took a while to figure out the things that I enjoyed doing. So dance obviously has always been a thing that I've enjoyed. So moving on from that, Zumba, I've always really enjoyed Zumba lessons and classes. And I find that with dance and Zumba, if it hurts, I'll still push myself past it because I'm enjoying the activity. Whereas other things, if I was trying to do running, I mean, I wouldn't because I hate running, but cycling, things like that, once it started to get to a point of hurting, then I'd usually stop. So it's a case of trying to find things that work for me. So we know that Zumba works. So we've got Zumba on the Switch and on the Wii, which is nice because it means that you can change up. Because, you know, being someone who used to dance, I learn routines fairly quickly. So when we got them on the Switch, that was great, but in a couple of weeks I'd learned all the routines, and I still enjoyed it, but you lose a bit of the challenge once you've unlocked all the achievements and things like that as part of the game. So we also have it on the Wii, so I've been doing that later at night, because that's when I am A, more awake, and B, when my body's had enough time to sort of warm up during the day. So I've been doing that. We do also have a sort of home gym set up in the garage, which is great, apart from the fact that it is so cold that I have to wear like 3 layers of jumpers to go in there. We have just bought a little sort of mini heater, so we're going to have a go at trying that. So we've got a machine in there, which there is a clip of in one of my older videos. I'll put a card up for it. So lots of arm, back, shoulder moves with that one, a couple of leg activities. We also have a bar with some weights. We don't have that set up yet. That is hopefully the plan for next weekend. And there is a treadmill in there for DTUs that I don't really use because I don't really enjoy it. So that's what we've been doing. That's what's been working. And then because I'm allowed to go out and exercise with one other person, I go out with my best friend. We go for a walk as and when we can fit it in with both of us when it's not going to be too busy, because, you know, I am shielding, so I still have to try and think of times when we can walk where it's not going to be busy. So we sort of tend to go later at night, or sometimes, you know, at 2 o'clock in the morning if we're both awake, that kind of thing. And what I'm really, only in the last sort of couple of months really, is learning that I don't hate exercise, because I used to hate it. I do not get an endorphin rush. Flat out, do not get an endorphin rush after exercise. Even with dancing, I don't. Dancing, I'm usually okay after exercise. If I do other things, we went to the gym, used to go to the gym regularly, and I loved the rowing machine. But if I did a full like workout of that and some other machines and weights and stuff, on the walk home from the gym I'd cry. I had sort of a drop of my emotions rather than an upbeat reaction to exercise. So although I was doing it a lot, I wasn't ever enjoying it. And so it's always been a bit of a struggle to get back into routines of doing exercise. However, I don't know if it's my age, if it's because I've got something, say the wedding and children, to push me, to motivate me, if it's a combination of things. I'm not entirely sure. I have an inkling, but I'm not entirely sure why I am finding this time easier to stick to. But I am, and I'm pushing myself on days where I'm like, I really don't want to exercise, but I know I should, so I do. I did end up getting quite ill. New Year's Day we went for a walk and I got this awful sore throat, lost my voice completely, spent days and days in bed, and so I didn't exercise for say about 10 days because I felt so rough. So I've only just really started getting back into doing my Zumba now. But I was looking forward to doing it again, and I've never had that with exercise. My theory is it's a little bit I'm motivated because of the wedding and the children, but I think it's a backwards way of appreciating my body. So since becoming ill, as I mentioned in a previous video, I've really struggled with not being able to do the things that I used to be able to do. You know, at one point I had 4 jobs, I was always doing things, I had to work to look after myself basically, from a fairly young age, so I've always worked, I've always done stuff. And originally when we cut my hours down, I felt rubbish. And I'm not saying that people who work part-time hours are, I'm not saying people who don't work are, but I felt that about myself, just because I'd always been so go, go, go. So that was that. Then when shielding started and I couldn't work, I felt even more useless. And when they started me on my medication, I was sleeping the whole time, then I got used to it. And I think what it is I'm realising there is actually stuff I can do physically. Alright, I may not be able to clean the whole house in one day, but I can do half an hour of Zumba, or, you know, do some weights tonight. And I think because it is helping me realise what my body can do, that's what's keeping me going. So I think that's why I'm finding this so much easier. So yeah, along with that I'm also tracking my food. I've weighed out some strawberries and grapes. That's my pudding for this evening, my snack. I do love fruit. So yeah, I will be tracking my food. My ideal would be to lose a couple of pounds a week, but I know it's not always going to happen, and I know it's not always going to be linear, so I'm trying to be lenient with myself. I have already noticed, just from like the last sort of 6 weeks or so, even with the gap that I didn't work out, is that this muscle definition, I all of a sudden have this muscle definition again here, which I've not had in a while. So as soon as I started doing weights again, that seems to have come back, which is brilliant. But I've found my sort of kindred spirit, my best friend on YouTube. I mean, she doesn't even know who I am, but I found my kindred spirit. So I was obviously looking through other YouTubers who are doing weight loss journeys or what have you, and I found this clip.
So that means that altogether in the past 6 months, I lost 39.4 pounds. Now, I am super stoked about that. Don't get me wrong, but there's that little piece of me, the same piece of me that tries to stop the gas pump at a certain number. That is like, damn, that's really close to 40 though. Like, how satisfying would it have been if it had just been like that, even 40? You know, it's silly. It doesn't mean anything.
And I mean, she's my spirit animal. This is me to a T. And so I had a look through her channel, and what I really like is that she is giving herself challenges to do things to help her keep motivated. I'm probably not going to be able to do as many different challenges as she can just physically because of my various mobility issues, but I think that's a good way to start. So one of the long-term goals that I want to work on is being able to touch my toes. Where my hip has been quite bad, and I've had an operation on my hip and things like that, my flexibility has gone to pot. And I used to have really good flexibility from dancing. So one of my long-term goals is going to be trying to touch my toes again, being able to stretch down and actually touch my toes. Meow. And she's so funny. So that's going to be a sort of long-term goal. I'm also thinking I might do I found some weight loss routines, some dance workouts on YouTube that I might do and share with you guys. So yeah, there's going to be a few things going on. I'm not going to do a weigh-in every week and keep everyone like this and this and this and this. Probably maybe monthly do a bit of an update on the weight. I'm going to track it as I do every week. And then sort of maybe once a month, once every 6 weeks, I'll be able to give you an update with the stats and how things are going. So that's sort of my plan. And I'm hoping that A, the motivation that I've got will carry on, but B, when it does falter, I've got this to keep me accountable. That's my plan. That's what I'm hoping for. So if you know of any awesome YouTubers who are doing a weight loss journey or who have done a weight loss journey that you found interesting or motivational or inspirational or just funny, please let me know, because I'd love to go and check them out. If you've got any challenges that you think might be quite cool to see if I can do, let me know. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. I'm going to go and eat my strawberries and my grapes and deal with my cat, who's obviously found a catnip toy because she's now running up and down the stairs. Yeah, any questions, please let me know, leave them down in the comments. I love talking to you. I'm hoping that this isn't too horribly yellow when I go to edit it. If it is, you won't even get to see this, but we'll see. So I am going to go and stuff my face full of fruit because yum. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Loopy love. Bye.